care for anything that's holy, for anything that's clean. He's like a pig in nature. Cast your pearl before him, they're still going to get thrown in the mud. But yet and still, let's get back to the slide. Back to the PowerPoint. So now, may you read this, Masha?
The Thanksgiving story is absolution.
So, the Thanksgiving story is an absolution. What is that? To absolve. It said the act of absolving, specifically a remission of sins pronounced by a priest, as in the sacrament of reconciliation. The act of forgiving someone for having done something wrong or sinful. The act of absolving someone or the state of being absolved. So the Thanksgiving story is an absolution of the pilgrims. Read on.
Of the pilgrims, whose brutal quest for absolute power in the New World is made to seem both religious, motivated, and immunitely human. Most importantly, the pilgrims are depicted as victims.
So now, look at this. So it said the pilgrims, whose brutal quest, not peaceful, because they try to make it seem like everything they did here, it was just peaceful. It was just tranquil. They're conquering. But yet it says their brutal quest for absolute power in the New World is made to seem both religiously motivated. They were fleeing from persecution from the Catholic Church. They just wanted freedom of religion. Oh, the Quakers, they were so oppressed. And we know their struggle for freedom, as any man struggled for freedom. So both religiously motivated and eminently human. They're just trying to survive. They just want a better life for their family. Don't you want a better life for your family? Because that's the lingo that Esau uses in order to give to you to make it seem more empathetic. To just get you to say, oh, well, yeah, we all want freedom. Yeah, we all want to be saved. I get it. But yet and still, that don't mean you go about it through rape, robbery, and murder of another people. That's the part they leave out. That's the part they don't like to talk about. As it says, most importantly, the pilgrims are depicted as victims. That's how Esau likes to depict himself. I'm just a victim of circumstance. I'm trying to make it just like you guys are trying to make it. You still have white people you encounter on the street. Hey, I'm not like them. I'm not rich. I'm just trying to survive like you, buddy. We're on the same level. We get the same opportunities. No, the hell we don't. Go to interviews. You still going to get the job before me. At the end of the day, but yet and still, we're just victims of harsh weather and just new beginnings. We're trying. This is how they come, standing upon Plymouth Rock, a new beginning. We'll find hope. Well, let's think about the base of the story of the first Thanksgiving. The pilgrims land and are not prepared for this new land. The American Indians who are friendly help them survive. The next year, learning from the native, the pilgrims have a successful harvest and celebrate the first Thanksgiving. But let's read. Go ahead, Mash.
The Parliament Hall Museum in Parliament, Massachusetts shows that of the 102 pilgrims that landed at Plymouth Rock in 1620, only 53 survived by 1621. It is not at all clear what happened at first, and only integrated Thanksgiving feast. Only 2 written accounts of the 3-day event exist, and one of them by Governor William Bradford was written 20 years after the fact.
So that's it. That's where you're getting, remember that middle paragraph. It is not at all clear what happened at the first and only integrated Thanksgiving feast. Only 2 written accounts of the 3-day event exist. And one of them, by Governor William Bradford, was written 20 years after the fact. Read on.
What is certain is that the first feast was not called a Thanksgiving at the time. No further integrated dining occasions were scheduled. And the first official all-pilgrim Thanksgiving had to wait until 1635 1637. When the whites of the New England celebrated the massacre of
Celebrated the what?
the massacre of the
The Wampanoags.
Wampanoags,
Southern.
the
Neighbors.
that says neighbors.
Yep.
The neighbors, the
Pequots.
Portuguese.
Pequots. So now, these are the key things. The two tribes you got to remember, the Wampanoags and the Pequot Indians. Those are the two tribes you got to remember. In 1637, that's the massacre. Read on.
Sometime between 1620 and 1621, Edward Winslow, the 3rd, 6th, and the 10th governor of the Plymouth colony, along with William Bradford, wrote a journal entitled Mounts Related,
Morts.
also known as the Relation of Journal of the Beginning and the Proceedings of the English Plantation settled by Palmer
Plymouth.
in the New England by certain English adventurers, both merchants and others. This is the book that holds the accounts of what was written on the first so-called Thanksgiving between settlers and Native Americans, particularly of the, how you say that again?
Wampanoag.
Wampanoag tribe. Everything else is speculation, opinion, and events that happened after the initial encounter.
And then we're going to read what happened during that. Read on.
How you say that?
Squanto.
Squanto and other Native American taught the pilgrims how to survive off the land, teaching them things like how to fish and grow corn.
So now, our people were the first Home Depot. We were the ones who were teaching them how to survive, how to build, how to use the timber and the wood that was here on the land to build cabins, to build lodges and things of this nature, to build boats, to survive in this land. We were the ones teaching them how to fish, when to fish, where to go to get the most fish. That was our people. Had it not been for our people, all the Midianites would have died. But it was because of the charismatic nature of our people that they survived. It was no different than many times you read in the scripture when the Most High said, look, put all them, man, put them to death. Why, Lord? Why? They ain't did nothing to us. That's our people. Charismatic first when it comes down to every other people but our own. We got too much care when it comes down to the Asian. Too much care when it comes down to the so-called white man. Too much care when it comes down to the African. But see your own, you ready to, I just can't forgive them. She just a beehole now. But see the white woman, oh, she just looks so lovely with her family. They just look so comfortable. See the other million nation, that's a good husband. See your own people, that's a dirty nigga. That's it. Is that not how it be? Is that not the setup? And yet and still, your oppressor paints this image, and guess what we do? We then enforce it. We reinforce it. But yet and still, go back to the PowerPoint. Let's continue on. So now, we also negotiated peace treaties, which the white man broke. We made all these peace treaties, but yet and still, he still had it to where I guess we'll call the truce for now, but I got war later. Get Psalm 55 and 21. We call peace, he called an advantage. But Psalms 55 and 21.
Psalms chapter 25 and verse 21.
55 and 21.
55 and verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
See that? It says the words of his mouth were smoother than butter. That white man knows how to talk a good game. He'll talk straight out of the crack of his, you know what? He'll have you believe in anything. You walk in the store, they be so happy. Hey there, how may I help you today? Oh, yeah, I'm looking for a TV. Oh, yeah, what kind are you looking for? Hey, what's the space in your living room? Just so you know, depending on how far you are, yeah, see, how far would you say you're sitting from the TV? I say I'm about there. Oh, yeah, see, that's perfect. See, any further? See, you want to make sure you're not too close. That way you can really grasp the texture of the image. We want to make sure you're really comfortable with that. You know, if not you have something smaller, we want to make sure, see, this might be better up your alley. See, this is really good if you're sitting about, approximately about 20, let's say 30 about feet from your TV. About there, this will really be better up your alley. But if you're sitting, let me say about 5 to 10.5 centimeters, then this will be better. Don't he talk like that all the time? He gets up down to a sign, be like, hey, and half the time, they don't know what the hell they be talking about. They just sound good. Hey, but you get to our people, hey, man, y'all got a TV? Yeah, they over there. Hey, which one good? I mean, yeah, you go with that one. I don't like that. I got that one at home, though. Oh, all right, so that's kind of it with our people. Our people, we give it, hey, look, you going to get the TV or you not? That's it. He said, he got to sell it to you. He said, I got to make the sale. I got to. Tyrone, did you see me back there? Nigga, I don't give a. See that? That's why you won't make a manager. I work hard for my money. You just wait for it to get handed to you. They'd be happy. Ready to sell. Read on, Psalm 55 and 21.
But war was in his heart.
But see, that war was in this man's heart. Because at the end of the day, I'll be at the gym, I'll be exercising, I'll be doing my little calisthenics, and eating might be the first ones, and, oh, hey there, buddy, yeah, if you ever need any spot or anything, just let me know, all right? I'll be like, all right. Maybe the first one, just want you to know. Got to put themselves out there. But yet and still, it said, look, they always have a reason for everything it is that they do. Esau be the first one with a game plan. Because he knows at the end of the day, if I show some good favor, what are you going to do? You're going to acquiesce to me. I just got to smile in your face. That's it. I just got to put on a smile, be there friendly, hi diddly ho. Ned Flanders you and you good. And then I can stab you in the back. That's it. I prepare a plan to stab you in the back. Make it seem like I want peace. Because what happens? If I make it seem like I'm at peace with you, what do you naturally do? You let your guard down. You get comfortable. We good. We friends. We peaceful. And that's when he says, that's when I got you. You let the guard down, you got relaxed. All right, kill him. Make it seem like, hey, neighbor, hey, buddy, how you doing there, friend? White man, only person that sit up there, he pull a knife out on you, he get you. Hey, buddy, come here. And gut you and kill you right there saying buddy and friend. It's all right, friend, close your eyes, die slow. I'll take care of the land, your kids, and your wife. It's okay. You rest now, buddy. You rest. Your fight's over, pal. Your fight's over. All with a smile on his face. Because it's no different than he does now. This man still, even with this justice, he still guns you down cold. And yet and still say, oh, they were just doing their job. There was no problems here. You should have just complied. Why were you fighting back? Why were you resisting? I wasn't resisting. I was just asking questions. That's resisting. Why didn't you just obey? See? So it's your fault. So you can't blame the officer. Next time, just shut up. Close your mouth. Back to the slide. It's Surah 12, 10 through 12. Surah chapter 12, verse 10 through 12. We all try to get so much trust with Esau. And our people, I'm surprised, think about it, it's been hundreds of years and our people still ain't learned not to trust your oppressor. It's 2019 and you still don't know white man your enemy? I don't see how. Read that.
Sirach chapter 12 and verse 10. Never trust thine enemy.
Sometimes trust your enemy.
Never trust thine enemy.
Trust them after a peace treaty.
Thy enemy.
Never, ever, ever trust thine enemy. I don't care what agreement, whatever it is, all hell can be breaking out in the street. Kid you not, because eventually it will. I don't care what group of Edomites say, hey, brother, we'll help fight for your cause. I want an allegiance. I'm going to say, look, this is our allegiance. You don't mess with me, I ain't going to mess with you for now. That's it. Well, brother, we got food, we got water. It's all right, you keep your food and water. I'm good. We stay over here. I don't give a damn how much supply. We could have zero food and water. I'm not taking that food and water. I'm going to fast until the Most High drops some locusts or some quail out the sky. My God will take care of me, but I'm not trusting my oppressor, because at the end of the day, I don't know what you put in that food or water. I'm not trusting it. And all it takes is for a situation of an opportune chance, and Esau will betray you. Read the Maccabees. That's what happened. How do you think Judas got killed? Simon got killed. They made allegiances with Esau, which in Deuteronomy it told us, don't make no allegiances with Esau. Judas got caught slipping. Maccabees, not Iscariot. Simon got caught slipping. Even their brother, Jonathan John, their downfall was making these peace treaties with Esau and trusting their enemy too much. But it comes one of those things where the catch-22, and some of y'all got to see, many of y'all going to want to make treaty treaties with Esau. A good portion of y'all. When it come down to we ain't got food, we ain't got water, they outnumber us. And it's been some days, reality start kicking in, we need some food. What y'all gonna do? Y'all gonna get us some food? What the man doing? They get us some food? Hey, they got food, they don't seem mean. They said they'll help us. You gotta understand, even going back, why do you think, why do you think Aaron made the golden calf when Moses was up in the mount? The pressure of the people. The pressure of the people get you to give in. Complaining will break you as a leader. Why do you think Moses didn't make it in the promised land? The people. Like, God damn, all they do is complain. And all it takes is for that moment for you to give in, and that's it. You done screwed up the nation listening to the nation. Because at the end of the day, they wasn't speaking from a reasoning point. It was emotion because, shoot, we hungry. I get it. But you end up giving yourself over to your oppressor. Still trusting in the government to protect you. Trusting in Esau to protect you instead of trusting in the Father. I don't care if I got to fast a day, 2 days, 3 days. Look, wait on the Most High. We going to look, provide. Hey, Most High will take care of us. He did it with our forefathers. He going to do it now. I'm not giving in to the oppressor. Because at the end of the day, all that's going to happen for them people that was complaining, when Moses didn't make it in the promised land, where they, oh, at least you with us. Hey, bro, you shouldn't have lost your cool like that. That's it. Hey, our people be cold. That's it. Y'all know that's it. That's all you going to get for your people. At the end of the day, you get that last straw. Like, man, that last straw dealing with your own people. And all you know, hey, that's it. Same thing when it comes down to trusting your enemy. You're going to be in a place to where you'll get pushed and shoot. I may or may not be the leader to make the decision, but nevertheless, some leader going to be in that place to have to make that decision. Or when the people start murmuring and complaining, because y'all know Israel ain't changed, right? They still the same. When they start complaining, they go, do I give in or do I not? Well, it depends. You going to hold them or fold them. Never trust your enemy, but are you going to give in? I just trust him this one time. Yeah, man, we'll take the food and water. Yeah, we'll join. Yeah, you watch this border. We'll handle the south side of the border. All right, fellas, sure, that's good. We'll call on you if we need the help. Because that's it. Now you're in a place to where you got to answer Esau's call. Hey, I helped you, brother. You're going to come help me? I need you. Man, you know what? We're low on people, man. I helped you. He's going to want you to answer that call. Fair to do so. You're breaking the treaty. Oh, hell, that's not a good decision, brother. Not a good decision. I mean, there's women and children. Yeah, I know, man, there's women and children, man. I wouldn't want any problems. I wouldn't either, brother. Reckon you do the right thing, right? You got families down there. Yeah, man, we got families. Yeah, you got families. You sure do. Hell of a problem if something happened to him, brother. Hell of a problem. He'll turn on you quick. Like, golly, you know he the devil. Because that's his negotiation down to a T. Y'all see it in some of the movies and TV shows he be in. That's how he negotiate. He don't come out like, man, how can we do this together? He hell of a problem if something happened to that water supply, isn't it? Reckon it would be best if you just, I don't know, pass over a few weapons of yours. Might make things go by easier for you. But that's your enemy. There's a reason why the Most High said, look, don't trust your enemies. But our people, we got to learn the hard way. We gotta live through the consequence. We can't just read it and be like, all right, cool. I ain't going to trust them. It's when a situation presents itself in real life, well, they just seem so sweet. We were just playing with their little girls. They just seem so sweet. Wouldn't seem like they double-cross us. Shoot. Taki mushroom. You better read the book. They double-cross us how many times? All with smooth words? But read on.
For like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him.
See, it says take good heed and beware of him. Never let your guard down around Esau. You can never relax. Any deal or peace treaty I make with him, I know on my end, hey, yo, I was just saying that. Don't buy that. Everything I said, I can shake his hand and smile in his face. Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, definitely. Hey, yeah, brother. I'll do it too. Yeah, sure. Hey, brother, we're good? Yeah, brother, we're okay. Hey, y'all know we ain't good, right? Y'all know, right? Y'all know. Down here, y'all know. Hey, y'all be ready. Don't let your guard down. Nope, don't let him go back there. Now, he ain't got to see all that. Hey, brother, can I check your supply? Oh, brother, there's no supplies back there. Don't tell him the truth either. We ain't got nothing. We're so low, brother. We're famished over here. We ain't got nothing. All of that because at the end of the day, anything you give him, because what is his goal? How did he get in with the Native Americans? I get in, then I divide and conquer. I know everything you got because we like family. And then when the time benefits me, I'm going to overpower you. That's what happened to our people. They got so comfortable to where all guards were let down to where you got overtaken. But read on.
And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away.
And many times we may bring it up, but literally, if you've ever had rust in a mirror, you know you cannot get that rust completely out. You cannot. I've personally tried. You cannot get it out. When you got rust, like just take a mirror. You can just go buy a cheap mirror, leave it outside for like 3 to 6 months. Let it rust and see if you get all that rust out of there. See if you get all that rust. Just leave it either outside or in your windowsill, wherever it is you want to leave it. See if you get all that rust out. That's the same thing with your oppressor. He's not built to be righteous. That's the key thing. He's not built to do the right thing. It's like you ever get some people like they be fighting over there. It's like, say sorry. You suck. Oh man, I tried. That's so sorry for you. It's just your bad. It's your bad. I'm sorry. It's your fault. Yeah, that's it. Nah, you still ain't fully authentically apologized. I apologize if you feel that way, but it's still your fault that you feel that way. He has to put someone he can't fully get right. And read on.
That was in 11.
Verse 12.
Oh, verse 12. Set him not by thee.
Set him close to you.
Set him not by thee.
Why?
Lest when he have overthrow thee,
What? Read.
he stand up in thy place.
Why would he do such a thing?
Neither let him sit at thy right hand,
Ooh.
lest he seek at to take thy seat.
So now, is that not what happened to our brothers? They made sure, oh yeah, sit right next to me, brother. Yeah, this plate of food, everything is yours. What did he do? Thank you, cousin. Mighty fine, mighty obliged. And then what happened? He dethroned our people and said, thank you, cousin, mighty obliged. This would be my house now. You're welcome to have the basement. This is my house. You know what? Matter of fact, you can have the outhouse. This isn't right. Well, you can take that or rather be dead. Taking you probably don't want to be dead, so well, enjoy the outhouse. That's how he deals with all the 12. Read on.
And I at the last remember my words and be pricked therein.
Because I said, man, you got to remember these words of the Most High in the moment, in the situation. Don't forget it. Because at the end of the day, these are things, man, the heathen, a thorn in your side. All this suffering at the hand of this people who's still causing us to suffer. And yet and still, people want to debate whether or not we'd be better off, the world would be better off without the so-called white man. But so many of our people want to debate it. Well, no, he's done plenty of good things for America and for this country, for the people. Name one. Name one good thing he's done. Well, you know, he's advanced technology. Well, hold on. Most of the technology you see that keep this world running, the internet and the street light, those are all things our people did. And he's profiting off of. That's the reality when you look at technology. That's not thanks to him. That's thanks to us. So what good things has he done? Well, he just made this world a better place. Well, hold on. When he came into power, the carbon footprint of this earth increased. The toxicity of this earth increased. He made everything unclean. Well, you know, people should just live. Not him. Not if he's raping, robbing, and murdering. Is that the kind of people? Like, think about how many people are going to say, you said, hey, so would you fight for a rapist and a murderer to get out of jail and live with you? Oh, hell no, I wouldn't do that. All right, so you agree white people as a nation be wiped off the face of the earth. Oh, well, no. Well, as a nation, haven't they been raped, robbing, and pillaging? Well, yeah, but that's not everybody. I didn't do that. Now they want to talk about and negotiate. But back to the PowerPoint. The Thanksgiving is also known as a national day of mourning by the Native Americans. And this is one of the plaques. It says in 1970, Native Americans have gathered at noon at Coles Hill in Plymouth and to commemorate a national day of mourning on the U.S. Thanksgiving holiday. Many Native Americans do not celebrate the arrival of the Pilgrims and other European settlers. I wonder why. To them, Thanksgiving Day is a reminder of the genocide of millions of their people, the theft of their lands, and the relentless assault on their culture. Participants in National Day of Mourning honor Native ancestors in the struggles of Native peoples to survive today. It is a day of remembrance and spiritual connection, as well as a protest of the racism and oppression which Native Americans continue to experience. erected by the town of Plymouth on behalf of United American Indians of New England. That's how we try to deal with the day. It's a day of mourning of our people, not a day of celebration for our people. That's a day to think about, damn, all the atrocity done to our people. Get mad at every Edomite I see today. And get mad at every coon celebrating the day. Now, I said this, the real Thanksgiving massacre. In 1637, 700 men and women of the Pequot tribe were killed by the English and Dutch settlers around the time of their green corn harvest, or festival. They were burned, clubbed, and shot to death. And the next day, the governor of Massachusetts Bay, declared a day of Thanksgiving because of the great slaughter. Once again, the next day, the governor of Massachusetts Bay declared a day of Thanksgiving because of the great slaughter. Settlers continued village after village, killing our people and selling them into slavery, having a Thanksgiving feast after each massacre. Get Psalm 55 and 20. Because technically, there were many Thanksgivings. It was through Abraham Lincoln and George Washington where they got a hold on Thanksgiving and said, hold on. We can't turn up every time we destroy a tribe and every time we conquer. We got to start slowing down on it. Because they would turn up every time they destroyed a tribe. Read that in Psalms. Isaiah, I'm sorry.
Psalms 55, 20.
I said Psalm 55?
Yeah.
All right, read that.
Psalms chapter 55 and verse 20. He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him.
Because that's what he did. He put forth his hand with such that be at peace with him. That was his key. Read on.
He hath broken his covenant.
And that's the thing. He hath broken his covenant. All those peace treaties, what did they matter? All those agreements, what did it matter at the end of the day? All that teaching and learning and building them up, all for your own destruction. Think about that. Think about how much time you put in for the betterment to build this person up, and at the end of the day, they literally stab you in the back. It's hard even for us to imagine that pain. I know our forefathers, they felt it the hardest, but think about that. Think about so much you put into somebody, and all it is, they stab you right in the back as a thanks. You taught this person how to fish, taught this person how to hunt, taught this person how to survive in the inclement weather, and they drown you in the river. Smiling upon you, saying thank you for everything. But it's my turn now. I'll take it. Back to the PowerPoint. So Dr. Tingba Abedida, in his Black Folks Guide to Understanding Thanksgiving, surmises that the settlers brandished their weaponry early and got drunk soon thereafter. He notes that each pilgrim drank at least half a gallon of beer a day, which they preferred even to water. This daily inebriation led to their governor, William Bradford, you hear that a lot, to comment on his people's notorious sin, which included their drunkenness and uncleanness and rampant sodomy. Because remember, a lot of time when they spent on them boats, and especially the first time, it was just men that came. They left the women and children back. Then the second time, they went back and grabbed the women and children. So it was just men on there. So, hey, they took it out on each other till they got to this land and take it out on the women here, and the men here too. Get it back up 1 and 11. Think about it. He said it wasn't just sodomites, they was rampant sodomites. Come here, Johnny. Woo, you got you, Billy. Trying to play hide the rainbow roll. That's Esau's nature. Get it back at 1 and 11. You go ahead and read it.
Habakkuk chapter 1 and verse 11. Then shall his mind change.
See, that's what happened. It said, then shall his mind change. Read.
And he shall pass over and then offend.
And that's what happened. He shall pass over and offend, which many offenses he made. Read.
Imputing this his power unto his God.
See that? It says imputing this, his power unto his God. So-called white man's God. Which is money, greed, gluttony, who he gets all at the hands of Satan. He was raping, sodomizing, creating genocide, and still saying, thanks, God. Thank you, Father, for this blessed land. Now pass me that native girl over here. I'm a raper. That's so-called white man. But let's go back to the slide. So it says, William Bradford, the former governor of Plymouth, one of the chroniclers of the 1621 feast, was also on hand for the great massacre of 1637. It says, those that escaped the fire were slain with the sword, some hewed to pieces, others run through with the rapiers. Rapiers is a straight two-edged sword with a narrow pointed blade. It says, so that they were quickly dispatched and very few escaped. It was conceived that they thus destroyed about 400 at this time. It was a fearful sight to see them thus frying in the fire, horrible with the stink and scent thereof. But the victory seemed a sweet sacrifice, and they gave their prayers thereof to God, who had wrought so wonderfully for them, thus to enclose their enemies in their hands and give them so speedy a victory over so proud and insulting an enemy. Glory to God. We'll read verse 21 in Psalm 55. Read verse 21. Yeah, read Psalm 55, 21. Glory to God. That's what they do. They insult you, but yet and still, so much so, they'll say glory to God, and many of our people say, glory to God, brother. And they laugh right in your face. These niggas don't even know. Glory to God, brother. Glory to God. It's Psalm 55 and 21.
Psalms 55 and verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords.
Drawn swords in your people, literally. Literally drawn swords and killing your people. Back to the slide. Back to the slide. So as soon after the feast, the brutish Miles Standish got his bloody prize. Dr. Peter writes, he went to the Indians, pretended to be a traitor, then beheaded an Indian man named Woodwomat. He brought the head to Plymouth, where it was displayed on a wooden spike for many years, according to Gary B. Nash, as a symbol of white power. Standish had the Indian man's young brother hanged from the rafter for good measure. From that time on, the whites were known to the Indians of Massachusetts by the name Wadoquanang, which in their tongue meant cutthroats and stabbers. Well, gee, you think? He said the country they claimed as their own was fathered by genocide and mothered by slavery. And this is that country, fathered by genocide and mothered by slavery, that they call America. Get Micah 2, 1 through 2. Go ahead and read it. Micah chapter 2, verse 1 through 2.
Hold on. Micah 2, 1 through 2. Micah chapter 2 and verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity.
It says woe, meaning destruction unto them that devise iniquity. Read on.
and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it.
So that means this person is putting time and thought into evil. This ain't just something they just did in the moment, they just felt. Because certain times, see, that's the difference between Esau and us. Many times when our people, we may do evil. A lot of times, man, it's times where hey, we might snap because we impatient. We lost our temper. We felt some type of way in the moment. But with Esau, not so. He plans mischief. This was calculated, premeditated. I didn't just snap. See, Esau, he says, nah, I don't get upset. I'm calculated. I'm not like y'all. I don't just lose my temper because I couldn't get my Popeye's chicken sandwich in the line and you was in front of me. I'm calculated to nah. Or buy the whole chain and sell it back to you. I'm going to get even. I'm a businessman. I ain't got to do all of that. I know how to make it even. Read on.
Because it is in the power of their hand.
And that's the thing, because it is in the power of their hands. I have the ability to do it, so why not? Meaning he's in a place because he can, he will. When that's not always the wisest thing to do. He uses his power for destruction. Just because you're a ruler, you're in a place to where you have the power to put these people in servitude doesn't mean you should as a ruler. Just because you have the power, you're stronger, you have the power to rape these people doesn't mean you should. But he's in a place to where I have the power to do it, why not? And I give my people authority and power to do so and make it legal and turn a blind eye. That's how Esau operates. Read on.
And they covet fields.
Ooh, they covet fields. Read.
And take them by violence.
Said, I like it. I'll take it. That's what he did to both northern and southern kingdom. I like that nigga. I'll take him. I like his wife too. I'll take her. I'll take her in the kitchen. I'll take her in the bed. I'll take her hell even if she's dead. I'll take her. I'm taking it all. Read on.
In houses, and take them away, so they oppress a man in his house.
See that they oppress you in your house. Will that be you and your family or you and your property? He tells you how much your own stuff you own. Hey, I got a car. Oh, well, good for you. Good for you, young buck. Hey, you got that car now. Hey, what lane you plan on driving? Well, I was just going to drive it down on this road here, boss. Oh, no, I didn't tell you pay me first. Need that money if you're going to be driving on my roads. But this is my road. Come on now, buddy. Hey, he be up there. Hey. Remember, this is my road, buddy. Getting a little ahead of yourself, right?
You can't have
right?
This
This is
road.
my road. I don't need to remind you that, do I?
You can't have this.
No, master. No, this is your road. Right. So pay me for it, all right? Need the money by the 1st or the 15th. See, I give you options. I'm a man of options. I'm a man of reason. That's why the white man like, he's so reasonable. I give you a grace period if you're late. Got 2 days and I want my money. I'm a graceful and merciful man, just like my Heavenly Father. I give you grace. Now, to come on now, if you want to drive my roads, not only do I need you to pay for this here land, but there's other taxes I need you to pay too. You know, registration, all that good now. Don't let it expire. Otherwise, you'd be in mighty big trouble of yours. Hate to see for that license you'll get revoked. But boss, I need my license to drive on these roads and go to work and work for you. Well, then you better pay the bill, right? Better pay the bill to me so you can come here and work for me. But boss, if you take that, then, you know, and I mean, if I can't pay, you know, because I don't get enough money from working for you to feed my family, well, I guess you better work a little harder, shouldn't you? Because this is the reasoning that he has. and has no problem with it, no empathy towards you and your situation. Everything is, you better find a way to survive. Hell, it's hard out there to survive. Hell, I know. But guess what? I did it. I found a way, didn't you? But boss, you raped and robbed and murdered to get it. Hey, but I found a way, didn't I? Guess you better find a way then, shouldn't you? But go on now, get the finding. Go on now. There's a big world out there. Don't get lost. Find your way back home, because you still owe me the money no matter how far you go. I'll find you. I'm a hunter. I'll find you. That's the way taking the slave mind and the oppressive mentality into modern day. Is that not how he deals with us? Everything is, you better find a way to pay him his money. He don't want to hear no excuses. And he'll give you minimal grace to get it right. And call it empathy. And kill you. Don't be late. Because guess what? He ain't got to kill you physically. He said, look, sorry, buddy, I got to let you go. But I was trying to provide for my family. I couldn't make it. Hey, look here, buddy. Hey, I'm not here to hear your sob story. You're just here to do a job, buddy. Hey, you can't have it. I got to replace you. Now, if I could help you, I sure would. But boss, you can't have, hey, what did I say, nigga? If I could help you, I would. But I can't. I got to find someone else. Now, we got Maisha here. I'm sure she's a hard worker. And she's going ahead and replace you. I'm sorry, Tyrone. We got to let you go. But my friend, hey. You know, if you need counseling, go see a therapist. But here we work. And you're not willing to work. But boss, I am willing. There's circumstances. Hey. You better figure out your circumstances, buddy. And when you figure it out, we'll be here, welcome you. You have a good day. There's the door. That's how he deals. And wants you to be thankful. To be appreciative of his grace. But back to the PowerPoint. Let's continue. Because when it says he oppresses a man in his heritage, a man in his house, even in his heritage. But now Andrew Jackson, and this is where it gets interesting. Andrew Jackson was promoted by the desire of white settlers in the South to expand into land belonging to the 5 Indian tribes. This is that manifest destiny. Andrew Jackson pushed the Indian Removal Act through Congress in 1830 by the desire of white settlers in the South to further expand into Native American territory. Now listen to that. How many of y'all caught that? Look at it. Think about it. They had laws in place to say this was the limit, this is the boundary, this is theirs, this is ours. Well, hold on now. We need this land. This land is fertile. Well, by my decree, I'm now saying the boundary has now been pushed over another 200 miles. We're going to push it with 200 miles. Yeah. Just put it in the writing. Just sign it. We'll sign it, and we'll just go ahead and tell them that's the new policy. We're pushing it. Think about it. Through his, get Daniel. Let me enlighten it. Get Daniel chapter 7. Because somebody doesn't hear me. Get Daniel. And I want you to get chapter 8 and read verse 25. Because, you know, Esau, he's not only a man of the sword, but he's a man of the pen.
25.
Read Daniel chapter 8, verse 25.
8. 25. Daniel chapter 8 and verse 25. And through his policies also.
Through his what?
His policy.
Through his what?
His policy.
His policy. His laws. That's what you're dealing with. So now, it's one of those things, because people find out, why is it like we're getting oppressed and it's like it's legal when there should be so many problems? Because once again, it's his policy. I make it law, and so it is. This is injustice. No. Read paragraph 2, clause 6, paragraph 163.5. It's legal, see? Right here. You missed that? Through his policy, he causes craft to prosper. Read on.
And he shall magnify himself in his heart. And by peace.
By what?
By peace.
By what?
By peace.
By peace. By negotiations, by treaties, he shall do what?
Destroy many.
But yet and still, there's going to be so many people, even of our own, when hell start breaking out loose, going to want to make peace treaties. You know why? Because at the end of the day, you just don't want to be afflicted. You're uncomfortable. You hate being uncomfortable, and therefore, if making peace with the white man to get me a little bit more comfortable, that's what I want to do. I just want to be a little more comfortable. So many of our people are going to go, hey, John, kumbaya with the white man. He ain't that bad. Because let me just get a little bit of peace. So through peace is how he destroys many. Guess what? Oh, no, you're tired of wars, right? No more fighting. There shouldn't be any wars. Hey, just come join sides with me. You don't got to worry about it, brother. You'll be all right. I'll fight the war for you. That's how he is. Go back to the slide. So now, it says Andrew Jackson was prompted by the desire of white settlers in the South to expand into lands belonging to 5 Indian tribes. Andrew Jackson pushed the Indian Removal Act through Congress, so once again we're speaking legally. In 1830, by the desire of white settlers in the South to further expand into Native American territory. And this is what they do with everything else. COINTELPRO, the war on drugs, the whole nine, they've still been doing this. All these laws on firearms was all to disband us. Due to the Black Panther Party. That's where all these current California laws, all these just came because of the Black Panther Party. That's when they were enacted because the goal was to disarm us. That's it. The goal is to make it, how can we keep guns out of our hands and keep them in the hands of the so-called white man? That's always been the goal. That hasn't changed. We just have to do it legally. Legally. Through his policy, his laws. Everything is done. He doesn't have to go out there and straight kill you. No, we're going to do this diplomatically. Now, Johnson, it's okay. Put it in writing. We're going to find a way to remove these things out of their hands. We'll get them. We'll get them with the pen. That's it. We'll sign it. Nothing they can do about it. All we got to do is hold up the paper. Clause 3.5.6, read it. But niggers don't read, so it's okay, we're good. It said the U.S. government spent nearly 30 years forcing Indians to move westward, beyond the Mississippi River. On example, over 15,000 members of the Cherokee tribe were forced to walk from their home in the southern states to designated Indian territory in modern-day Oklahoma. In 1838, this is known today as the Trail of Tears. It is estimated about 4,000 Cherokees died on the journey. It's all right. We're relocating you. You'll find a way. You guys are survivors, right? You'll find a way. You'll be all right. Some of you will make, most of you will make it, right? You'll be okay. In the Trail of Tears, you can research it. Look it up. That westward expansion, moving us forcibly. Because at the end of the day, hey, we're taking this land. Got a problem? Want to fight for it? Sure you want to live, right? Live up to see those beautiful children of yours grow up? Now keep it pushing and go watch them grow. Just don't die on the way, okay? So the following year, Captain Hunt, an English slave trader, arrived at Patuxent. It was common practice for explorers to capture Indians, take them to Europe, and sell them into slavery for 220 shillings apiece. I say again, it was common practice for explorers to capture Indians, take them to Europe, and sell them into slavery for 220 shillings apiece. That practice was described in a 1622 account of happenings entitled A Declaration of the State of the Colony and Affairs of Virginia, written by Edward Waterhouse. True to the explorer tradition, Hunt kidnapped a number of Wampanoags to sell into slavery. For all those who say Native Americans and Latino people didn't go into slavery on ships, yes, they did. They were taken throughout the Americas. Why? Somebody knows why. Why were they taken throughout the Americas? Why would you take those who may be in, need it be, the Bahamas, or need it be in Chile, need it be in Brazil, and move them down to other places throughout? Why would you do that? Why would Esau do that? Does anyone know? Think about it. You got it, Albert? Maybe passing the mic?
So they could teach the other ones, be submissive or whatever that they was trying to do.
Part of that was with the brainwashing. They would, and that's one of the things. When you see your own people, especially our people, when they saw our people with the enemy, it's like, okay, well, cool. That's my people. They trust them. I trust them. That's no different than how we do it. You ever see people vouch for you? Or you vouch for somebody else? Where generally it's like, hey, look, me and him cool. This person with me. So they with me, so that means, hey, they know, oh, man, hey, they with Tob. Yeah, man, they cool peoples. Tob's cool peoples. That's how it rolls. It's natural. But on top of that, one of the other things he did is that, look, our people knew the land too well. They knew the land too well. So in order to where, hey, I got to make it to where you don't know this land because you have the home field advantage. I'm the away team. I don't need to be running through this woods. You know everywhere to hide. I need you to be just as lost as I am. So guess what? Move them somewhere else. Well, we know the land better, and they don't. Because guess what? It's a lot harder to flee when you don't know where you're going. But if I grew up in this land, think about it. Like white people, they don't know the hood. We know the hood. They come down here, they could be malicious, everything. You could send Esau in this area, they're going to get lost. We know the alleyways. We know the back streets. They don't. We have a home field advantage if war broke out here. We know the area. That became a disadvantage for Esau. Therefore, move them out to a different area. There we go. But nevertheless, we were sold into slavery. Get Exodus 21-16. Go ahead and read it. Exodus chapter 21, verse 16.
Exodus chapter 21 verse 16. And he that stealeth a man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death.
So now, I got a question. Did the so-called white man steal a man? He stole men and women and children, a nation. And guess what? Are we still in his hands? So what's his judgment? He's getting death. No if, no ands about it, no let's talk about it, no peace treaties. Your judgment is death. After you serve, of course. It's Psalm 7, 11 through 13. It's Psalm chapter 7, verse 11 through 13.
Psalms chapter 7, verse 11. God judgeth the righteous.
So the Most High, he's going to judge the righteous. He's going to correct them. He's going to get them right. Read on.
And God is angry with the wicked every day.
Some days.
Every day.
He said every damn day. And his anger only builds. It ain't going down. It's only building. Every day he's wicked. Every day that man is doing everything he can to go against the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. Every day he's reprobate. So guess what? Every day the wrath of the Most High builds. Read on.
If he turn not, he will whet his sword. He hath bent his bow and made it ready.
Because at the end of the day, he ain't going to change. Read on.
He hath also prepared for him the instruments of death.
See that? He says, I have prepared for him the instruments of death. Think about that. You ever got people, it's like, all right, if you're in a place to where I got some music going on. I'm preparing my instruments. Prepare whatever it is I got to have. Well, I said, I'm preparing my instruments of everything I'm laying. All right, look, I'm going to hit him with some meteorites. Yeah, I'm going to get him with that. What else I got? Oh, yeah, some hailstorms. Okay, I'm going to get him with that, too. Ooh, what else? Get him with the colds. Yeah, I'm going to get that. I'm preparing that. What else I got for him? Oh, yeah, some earthquakes. Ooh, sinkholes. Oh, yeah, I'm going to get that right. That. I'm saving that. That one's my favorite. Like, he's preparing all the instruments to get them lined up. You see somebody sharpening their blades. Most High is sharpening his instruments of war. He's sharpening the elements. Make sure when I drop this fire, it's going to be hot. It's going to be hot like a new track. It's going to be hot. Boy, he going to get it. I'm going to make sure, when I set the code for this hail to fall down, forget a golf ball size. Y'all seen that? I'm going to drop some basketball size on him. Bah! He going to get hit. Forget the white meat. I'm going all the way down. This striking through the bone. You're going to see the marrow and the jello. It's all going to be corrupt. That's the Most High preparing. With all of that.
He ordained his arrows against the persecutors.
That's it. So the Most High, he's already set and prepared to take vengeance on our enemy. He just back to sharpening, smiling, just waiting. Angels of Christ asking, Father, is it time? Lord, is it time? He's like, nah, not yet. Give him a little bit more time. Waiting. Harvest almost ripe. I'll let you know. Just sharpening, getting ready. Back to the PowerPoint. Said another common practice among European explorers was to give smallpox blankets to the Indians. He was giving you the disease intentionally to kill you. Since smallpox was unknown on this continent prior to the arrival of the Europeans, Native Americans did not have any natural immunity to the disease. So smallpox would effectively wipe out entire villages with very little effort required by the Europeans. William Fenton described how Europeans decimated Native American villages in his 1957 work, American Indians and White Relations, to 1830. From 1615 to 1619, smallpox ran rampant among the Wampanoags and their neighbors to the north. The Wampanoag lost 70% of their population to the epidemic, and the Massachusetts lost 90%. See, because the Most High, Esau said, look, even if it means killing some of my own people, I'll get you. As long as I get you. And that smallpox, what is it? Because Esau, boy, in his wars, he make you he poke you with it. There it is. That's what it looked like, right there on that shoulder. That's what everyone in the military that deploys, they got to get that when they go to war. They go to these foreign countries, they give you smallpox, a slight little dose, to see if it spreads, see if you're immune. They just prick your arm, tap, 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 a whole bunch of times, tap, 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 to see if you break out, to see if you'll get infected going to those foreign countries, or if you have an immunity to it. So if you break out all over, looks like you're allergic to smallpox. If you don't, looks like you ain't. Whole time here they say, hey, just bandage it, don't touch it, or it'll spread. You gotta wait until it heals. So that's what happened. So I was deployed 2013, 2014. So that's when I got it, and along with everyone else, and most of my unit was all Israelites, for the most part, mostly Northern Kingdom. So all lined up. But nevertheless, Esau's guinea pigs. All right, back to the slide. Smallpox blankets, hand them over. Stay warm. You travel halfway across the world just to give me free blankets? That don't sound right. But yet and still, with the day, they said, look, I'll pass the food. At least with our people, I'll pass you the food, we'll pass you the blankets. So guess head on the poll. By the 1670s, the colonists with 8,000 men under arms felt strong enough to demand that the Pilgrims, former dinner guests, the Wampanoags, disarm and submit to the authority of the crown. After a series of settler provocations in 1675, the Wampanoags struck back. Under the leadership of Chief Metacomet, son of Massasoit, called King Philip by the English, Metacomet, also known as King Philip, whose wife and son were captured and sold into West Indian slavery, wiped out 13 settlements and killed 600 adult white men before the tide of battle turned. Damn, ain't nobody gonna clap it up. At least our people tried. At least they tried to fight back. Like, golly. At least they tried. Say, golly, we did that today, shoot. Wiped out 13 settlements and killed 600 adult white men? That's like them Nat Turner rebellions. Same thing. So remember the name Metacomet. Well, they called King Philip, but we're going to remember, hey, Metacomet. King Philip took out 13 settlements, wiped out 600 Edomites. Said a 1996 issue of the Revolutionary Worker provides an excellent narrative of the account. So you say a bunch of immigrants are refusing to assimilate to your culture and are threatening your way of life? That sucks. Because once again, they're still complaining about that. Go back home. You took my home. We just want peace. You're taking your jobs, but shoot, you took my land that provided the jobs. We was living off the land. We got to work more now that you took the land. Think about it. Think about how many of y'all really think about what it is you go to work to do? How many of those jobs that our people work really matter? Like, how many of them really, truly matter? You laboring for nothing. To build up and keep his empire the way he built it going. That's why he tries to keep every opportunity you living off the land, he tries to keep it away from you. Because remember, our people, all the way up until literally very, very recently, always lived off the land. Your jobs were centered off of living off the land. You needed clothes, so there were tailors. You needed tailors, you needed seamstresses. You needed those things to survive. You needed fishermen. You needed barter and trade to where, hey, look, I don't want to go out there and catch my own fish, or I may not know how to fish. I can get with a fisher, someone who's already going out there catching the fish and get it down to the market. You needed those things. You had butchers, things of that nature. You had ironsmith. You had ironwork. The jobs made sense. But what did Esau say? Hey, he built a capitalistic society to where, no. The job don't even make sense. Like, think about someone who's not afraid to mention what it is that you work. Think about what it is what do you do, man? Get past the mic.
One of the things that I do is literally go underwater and clean the bottom part of a boat. Like, there's nothing.
Clean the boat. And you clean the boat, for you now, these just fishermen boat, I'm just going out for fun.
No, not even for fun.
Just what? Just what's the purpose of the boat?
To fish, and actually, yeah, that's what they do. Yeah, just go out for fun too. That's what they'd use it for.
So if it's to fish, that might job be necessary. What do you got? What you got, DeBar? You don't mind saying? If you can pass, if you mind saying.
I was gonna make a joke, but I'm not.
It's up to you. You can mention one of your old jobs. They ain't got to be current. Just think about some of the jobs you did. How many jobs really matter?
I mean, I don't know. I work for Honda, so I don't know how necessary it is for you to have a car. It's useful.
But now here's the thing. He made it necessary for you to have a car. Because guess what? Because a lot of times where it is you got to go work, you have to go that far. That wasn't necessary. Otherwise, we would have been had it. He made it necessity. All right, layman term, think about it. Nowadays, it's a necessity to have email, right? Mm-hmm. Think about getting a job and you don't have an email account. No email address. Is that job gonna hire you? When did that become a situation? Think, Unc, man, 80 years old. When you was growing up, did you have to have an email account? Oh, yeah, you. No, right? That's a new phenomenon, right? Relatively new.
But I was going to tell you earlier, when you were talking about living off the land and the sewing machines and stuff, I remember when we had the sewing machines with the paddle on the bottom, and you had to, you put your foot on it and paddle it, and the needle would go up and down. That was in the 40s.
Now, and see, here's the thing, and you because you walk in history, but you the elders of
So I got vested
any
the
of us.
same way you did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, absolutely.
You had to get that little smallpox?
Yeah, that was in 1940 and 41.
See? Yeah, I'd get it too. But nevertheless, no. Pass it back to the elder. That's a history book. Because all of us, we're just children unto him. Some of us grandchildren, some of us great-grandchildren. But nevertheless, so now situation, back when you was growing up, what were some of the common jobs?
Well, working in the fields. It was
Working where?
Working off the land in the fields.
How many people working in fields today? By show of hands. How many?
I have no idea, but I don't.
No,
think
I'm
it's
just
any.
saying, like, how many people here, literally, like, anybody here working in the field? Like, you got to go, hey, yeah, I got to go work in the field. So think about how much change in his generation alone. You didn't need a computer. You didn't need a cell phone. You didn't need a car. Uncle, we was growing up, did everybody have a car?
Oh, no. Everybody didn't.
Well, wait, it said no. Now, how many people in here got a car? Can you imagine doing everything you're doing today without your car? He made all these things a necessity. He made it to where, go ahead, Uncle.
And the telephone, it was maybe if there was a neighborhood of 400 people, maybe 4 or 5 had a telephone, but the telephone had 3 numbers, and it always was a party line. You know, you have to wait until your neighbor got off the phone if you wanted to use it. And that was about $1.50 a month.
Look at that. And why do I say this? Because all of these things, Esau set everything up for you to be a continuous laborer for him. Because when you had your land, if you didn't have to go out there and sow, you didn't have to go out there and work. If you didn't have to gather anything in, you didn't have to go out there and work. But he made it to where, no, you always got to work. When does the work stop? Well, I mean, for Esau and his world that he's now built. Yeah, when does the work stop? It doesn't. When does the labor stop? It doesn't. Unless you're rich. And think about how in such a short period of time he's managed to accomplish that in that man's lifetime, to be able to see the change. To be able to see the change from living off the land to living in a corporation. To living in corporate America. Go ahead, DeBar. Passing the mic.
Just to what your point of what you're saying right now is funny because in reference to corporate America, we work in the office, but we refer to those who are actually at the facilities as in the field. So that's considered field work.
Right.
And we're doing corporate work.
Yeah. Because you sitting in that office, that's the new field work. 9 to 5 that don't stop. You got to go to work. Don't work, don't eat. That's how you set it up, to where you have to work harder. When back then, it was easier. Because even though, as you've seen, as Esau built a system that's harder or easier to work and live in? Harder. And that's all to set up, to keep you enslaved. That's why he had to conquer and take the land. He knew it, because if I take the land, I own it, it's not yours. You'll never own it. You have to be in a place to where even if you get a house, you still got to pay the taxes on it. Because the land ain't yours. Go ahead, Unc. You can pass it the mic. Back then?
Yeah. In 1950, 55, the house note was $25 a month.
Could you imagine that? You know how much he's taking it now? Boy, shoot. Back then, it was easy. You could pay for everybody to stay in a big house. 9 days? Sure. 9 days, we want to be our own, struggling. It used to be a time, we used to be always, hey, we stayed together. Uncle, you probably remember that time more, we stayed together, right? Then we got older, and it's crazy because ironically, when things was cheap, we was all together. When things got expensive, we all wanted to depart and go our own ways. Yep, I want to get out. I want to move out. Oh, you had something? Go ahead. Pass the mic. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just thinking, like, how somebody come into money, how you have a good time and party and thrills. So from when they first came over here on the shores of America, getting rich from a new world and accumulating wealth, and from having $25 of sales tax of the property they selling, keeping that money and stacking it because they're not spending it, all the way to now to having thousands of dollars of sales tax. So they get to keep all that money. You know how much balling they've been doing? Just splurging money for the state to be right now today in debt, to not have none of that money from when the sales tax was $25 to way back to when the Pilgrims were just giving them and they was raping the land. For them to have all that wealth and today be broke. That's just misuse of resources.
But that's it. At the end of the day, I'm going to use your resource and save my own. Go in the other country, use theirs and save my own. But back to the slide. Because this is the man profiting off of the land that he took. But back to the PowerPoint. It's why he fights so hard for the land. In their victory, the settlers launched an all-out genocide against the remaining native people. The Massachusetts government offered 20 shillings bounty for every Indian scalp and 40 shillings for every prisoner who could be sold into slavery. They're the ones, Esau, that started scalping. Soldiers were allowed to enslave any Indian woman or child under 14 they could capture. The praying Indians who had converted to Christianity and fought on the side of the European troops were accused of shooting into the treetops during battles with hostiles. They were enslaved or killed. Other peaceful Indians of Dartmouth and Dover were invited to negotiate or seek refuge at trading posts and were sold onto slave ships. A lot of our people, they knew, man, I'm not trying to kill my own people. So they'll join, they'll say, yeah, we'll go out and fight, but don't shoot your people, man. Just like shoot over the trees, act like you're trying to shoot, or shoot down in the dirt, do something else, just don't try to kill them. That's what we did. Let's regret our eating decision that Thanksgiving as much as Native Americans regret trusting white people. Celebrating the unspeakable. The Wampanoag chief, King Philip, was beheaded. His head, remember, Montemouat, his head was stuck on a pole in Plymouth where the skull still hung on display 24 years later. After King Philip's War, there were almost no Indians left free in the northern British colonies. Massacred. A colonist wrote from Manhattan's New York colony, "There is now but few Indians upon the island, and those few no ways hurtful. It is to be admired how strangely they have decreased by the hand of God since the English first settled in these parts." In Massachusetts, the colonists declared a day of public thanksgiving in 1676, saying, "There now scarce remains a name or family of them, the Indians, but either slain, captive, or fled." But yet and still, they have the right to call all these other people terrorists. But whenever they do something, it's just a lone wolf, acting out of just fear. He needs help. Indie Media, it said the Pequot tribe numbered 8,000 when the Pilgrims arrived, but disease had brought their numbers down to 1,500 by 1637. The Pequot War killed all but a handful of remaining members of the tribe. And guess what happened with the few that were left? A lot of times, they were put on reservations. Why? To reserve what's left after the genocide. Anytime Esau speaks about, oh, there's an endangered species, oh, they're on a reservation, put them on a reservation. Why? Because it's a conservation effort to try to keep some of the population alive after Esau finished slaughtering so many of them. Some of you guys may have seen recently on the news on social media, they just released a lot of bison back in the wild to hope that, hey, they multiply. Well, I wonder why. What happened to all the bison? Esau was killing them. Well, it's okay. Well, we tried to bring them back. Well, you tried bringing them back, but you killed them by the thousands. Intentionally to destroy our people. But it says most historians believe about 700 Pequots were slaughtered that missed it. Many prisoners were executed, and surviving women and children sold into slavery in the West Indies. Get Isaiah 65, 11 to 12. Read it.
Isaiah chapter 65 and verse 11. But ye are they that forsake the Lord, that forgot my holy mountain, that prepare a table for that troop.
You see that? We're the ones that prepare a table for that troop. Not those in here, hopefully not. But those of our people still in the world, you prepare a table for that troop. Every time you celebrate that Thanksgiving. Read.
And that furnish the drink offering unto that number. Therefore will I number you to the sword.
And keep doing it. The Most High is going to number you to the sword. Read.
And ye shall all bow down to the slaughter. Because when I called, ye did not answer.
Because when the Most High sent his word through the mouth of his prophets, you didn't answer. Read.
When I spake, ye did not hear. But did evil before my eyes, and did choose that wherein I delighted not.
Because the Most High doesn't delight in these things. We prepare a table for that troop, and you sit down and have these Thanksgiving meals. And you celebrate these customs. You feel like all it is you're worried about is the turn up and about to eat. But not even realizing what it is you're partaking in. But it said the rest of white folks thought so too. This day forth shall be a day of celebration, Thanksgiving, of subduing the Pequots. Read Governor John Renthro's proclamation, and the authentic Thanksgiving Day was born. They try to call it Family Day, Family Thanksgiving, blessings, turkey, traditions, gather pumpkin pie, all the greats. But yet and still, our people lost their families. The white men tell their children that their ancestors settled here, when the truth is that they invaded us, they murdered us, and they raped us until we barely existed. That's Thanksgiving. But get Isaiah 5 and 20. For those who still try to label the day good, it's just a day, it doesn't matter. The Most High hates that. Read Isaiah 5 and 20.
Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 20. Woe unto them that call evil good.
It says, destruction unto them that call evil good. You can't sit up here and say Thanksgiving is a good day. Just be thankful for it. When it's a day that's founded off of murder, genocide, rape, and robbery of a people. Read.
And good evil. That put darkness for light, and the light for darkness. That put bitter for sweet, and sweet for bitter.
And that's what you do when you partake in this day and call it good. Because you're going to have all these people flooding their social media, they Facebook, they chat snap, whatever it is, and saying it's a good day. Saying just be thankful. What you thankful about, brother? And they going to downplay it, oh, we can't just be thankful. No, you got something to be thankful about. There's always something to be thankful for. Health, home, family, friends, food. But Thanksgiving? Well, Thanksgiving for stealing our, that's it. We get Psalm 66 and 18. We have a lot of people not truly thankful. Not truly in a place of sincerity. It's Psalm 66 and 18.
Psalms chapter 66 and verse 18. If I regard iniquity in my heart, the Lord would not hear me.
So for a lot of our people, man, if you still got iniquity in your heart, the Most High ain't trying to hear your thanks anyway. You don't give a damn about how thankful you are for that chain around your neck, that car you drive. At the end of the day, you still committed adultery, robbing, lying, all of those. But give thanks every day. We gave them land. We gave them resources. They gave us disease and war. But yet and still give thanks. Get Amos 5:21. The Most High says, and this is why. He hates these feasts. Despises them. Because at the end of the day, they're not anything that's holy. Most I tell you, we should always be thankful. Read that.
Amos chapter 5 and verse 21. I despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies. Though ye offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, I will not accept them.
Because that's what you're doing. When you're making the honey baked, honey glazed ham, the turkey, those are meat offerings. Your barbecues, those are meat offerings. Most High doesn't want to smell that. He doesn't glory in that. He doesn't respect that. No different than, well, shoot. I mean, for those parents who still do have value, no different than if your child is getting F's in school, you ain't finna bless them with the PS3, PS4, Xbox, whatever it is, new shoes, new clothes. Unnecessarily, you want them down. Get your grades up. So likewise, mostly he ain't trying to hear no prayers. He ain't want no celebration. If you're doing it in wickedness, get righteous, and then I'll be happy with you. With all of that. Read on, verse 23.
Neither will I regard the peace offerings of your fat beast. That's it.
Read on.
Take thy away from me the noise of thy
You
songs.
see that? He says, when you wake up that Sunday and think you're going to church, hooping and hollering for the Most High, he says, man, take away the noise of thy melodies from me, because I don't want to hear it. Because that's all I see it as. I don't see it as me. I see it as noise. Read on.
For I will not hear the melody of thy vows.
But read verse 24.
Verse 24. But let judgment run down as waters.
That's what he wants. He wants judgment. Not just in the sense of recompense, but also judgment, making the right decisions to do the right thing. That's what I want. They want to eat, drink, and be thankful. So it was George Washington suggested one day be set aside to celebrate each and every massacre. In 1863, during the Civil War, Abraham Lincoln made it law by declaring it as a national holiday. It is currently celebrated on the last or fourth Thursday of November. Yes, Sirach 37:28. Our people just happy to eat all the food. One track mind. I just want the food. But at the same time, it's a balance. Well, I said this, 37:28 through 30. Because a lot of our people, and shoot, this is what happens to it. People that just pig out, with no bars hold, a lot of times get heart attack, stroke, gain the weight, what so have you. Read on what he said is.
Sirach chapter 37 verse 28. For all things are not profitable for all men, neither have every soul pleasure in everything. Be not unsatiable in any daunting thing.
Dainty thing.
Dainty thing.
So it says, look, don't be unsatiable. Unsatiable meaning you're not able to be satisfied. You just want to eat and eat because it's there. But yet and still, let it be something that ain't too favorable. Let it be for those who don't like grits. Let it just really be some grits where you be like, it's all right, and I'm good. I had enough. But let it be a whole bunch of other stuff you know, I'm just going to eat. I'm pigging out. I'm grubbing. Some of y'all over there, you just eating up all the ham, all the just grubbing. Grubbing. He said, yeah, it's fine to eat. Yeah, eat till you're full. But you know those who's overindulgent. I'm talking about those where everybody ate 2 plates, but he ate 5. That's the unsatiable one. Everybody had 1 plate, but he had 4. The insatiable one. Well, you know you ain't thinking about nobody else but yourself. First one in line to get a plate, last one to throw your plate away. But read on.
For excess of meats bringeth sickness, and
that's
surfeiting.
The excess bringeth sickness. Doing things in excess. Read on.
And surfeiting will turn into choler.
See, that overfeeding will turn into pains. Turn into sickness. Got to have a better balance. Read on.
By surfeiting, for have many perished.
It said by overfeeding, many have perished. Our forefathers always knew this. Eat as it become with a man or a woman. Don't be overindulgent. We would have played, just because now you can eat it don't mean you should eat it all the time. Have a better balance. But nevertheless, each one on, read on.
But he that taketh heed prolongeth.
Wait, read it again.
But he that taketh heed
He that taketh heed does what?
prolongeth his life.
There it is right there. He that taketh heed prolongs his life. I mean, ain't gonna take heed, though. You shorten your life. But you deal with diabetes, high blood pressure, strokes, walking on cancer, all these things is lifestyle. There are people that they choose because, hey, they choose, I want to eat what I want. We're gonna die anyway, right? Yeah, that's true. All right then, so I'm gonna eat what I want. All right, that's up to you. But I'd rather have a longer life and healthier life in those years that I have. And that's up to each individual to make. It's around 31:12 to 21. We ain't gonna read all of that. We about to end. Actually, you just write that one down. It's around 31:12 to 21. We'll skip that one. Hebrews 10:25. Because this is the next one with the day. Family ain't never been around. They wait all the way down to Thanksgiving now to start calling and checking in. Talking about being thankful. Be thankful for family, but you ain't called your family all year. You wait till the end of the year to talk to them, and it just be November, December, that be it. We talk November, December, that's it. That's why the Most High, hey, he created feasts to where now y'all always together. Y'all always fellowshipping. Read that. Hebrews 10:25.
Hebrews chapter 10, verse 25. Not forsaking the assembly of ourselves together.
And that's the thing. We don't forsake the assembly and gathering ourselves together. The Most High always made it together. That's part of why he despised the day, because, and especially it'd be Esau making some abominable stuff. Who covers damn turkey and some bacon like that? And who stuffs damn turkey with some octopus and some crab legs? That's Esau. He said, the ham ain't good, and I got to put the ham. It's like, golly. It was only in Esau, only in the military back in 2012, I discovered what a cordon bleu is. Cordon bleu, he got to find way to put pork in chicken. Like, in it. And, like, I'm like, how do you, to put the chicken, you got some, and the first time I discovered, I'm like, what the hell, I got this? And, man, the first time back in 2012, I bit into it, I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, golly, there's pork in the chicken. Who does that? Like, that was wicked. That's when I discovered what a cordon bleu is back in 2012, maybe 2011. I had no idea Esau was putting pork in the chicken. I just thought it was just a fried chicken patty, just all right, and some damn pork in it. I discovered that. Like, golly. And say, some things, because it's like, why would you do that? Like, you ever ask somebody, they do something like just so stupid, like, why would you do that? Like, why would you put pork in the chicken? Like, imagine going somewhere, eating some fried chicken, and there's pork in the fried chicken. How would you feel? Esau said, oh, yeah, we got this new Bayou barbecue chicken. Oh, yeah, let me get some of that. Put some damn pork in it. Golly. And that's what happened. But nevertheless, I'm going to end it there. But y'all get the point, man. So you get some of the more so the history and things, the turkey, Thanksgiving, more of those things, but still a lot more to surround the day. But nevertheless, at the end of the day, y'all get this abominable. You get some of the history behind the destruction of our people that brought forth the day. There was always a Thanksgiving celebration after each massacre, starting with a 1637 feast. And then you had it through George Washington, who said, look, we need just one day to celebrate. And Abraham Lincoln has said, you know what, we're going to make this a national holiday to be celebrated every year. So that's, if you take anything else from this, just remember that. Remember Metacomet, King Philip, them 13 settlements, and them 600 Edomites that he put to death before being killed himself. So when memorialize him and for his sacrifice in putting him to death. And at the end of the day, remember the persecution of our people. So with that, hopefully y'all got something from it. You learned something new from it, and something to take home and, you know, share with friends and family, things of that nature. But with that, in this lesson, hopefully you got something out of it. Announcements.
Hey, shalom, everybody, and welcome all our guests. These are the announcements for today.